Hi everybody, so today we are going to be starting our clay project. So you need to make sure that you have your sketchbook and your design all drawn out. Oops. So this is some of Miss Salatino's design. So I did a character inspired design. So here I've got, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, and Mike Wazowski. Now we're going to be building one of our characters, but we want to have another plan in place just in case you do have some extra clay. All right, so you are going to need a plate. You are going to need a package of Model Magic. Everyone is going to get one to start with. I don't want to open up too much clay because once it's open, we can't reseal it and it's going to start to dry out. So if you do find that you need a little bit more clay, we'll figure that out. And you guys also get to use some sculpting tools. So you're going to take your clay out. We're going to kind of put that to the side. That's just going to keep our plate there. Now, you will see that there is a picture, your picture, on your plate. That is going to help us figure out whose clay belongs to whose, because this needs some time to dry, and that will help Miss Salatino figure out, which clay belongs to which person. All right, so we're going to talk about the different things that you can do with the clay. So there are a few different techniques. We will start with what we call a pinch pot. So a pinch pot starts off, and it's in the name, we are pinching to make a pot. Okay, so you want to start off with a nice ball. Okay, so I'm going to roll my ball out. You can even use the surface of your table. I prefer to use my hands, but some people like to use the table. So you want a nice ball to start with. Now I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to carefully push it in. And I'm going to be doing a motion like this with both hands, all right? So I'm going to get both of my thumbs in there, and I'm going to go back and forth, kind of doing like the talking hands. Okay, so back and forth, and I'm slowly pushing it in and kind of bringing it out. All right, so that is one way to do a pinch pot. Now you could make it for the bottom of a cupcake base. You could make it for the top of a cupcake. You could do it for the bowl of your ice cream. All right, so that's one way to do it. Another thing that you can do is what we call a coil pot. This is when you take some clay and we're gonna roll it out like a worm. All right, so I'm gonna move this out of the way, move my clay. And I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to slowly work it back and forth. And you're going to see that I'm going to slowly kind of start to widen it out. And I'm trying to make sure that my clay stays even. So I want to make sure that it's not too skinny or not too fat in certain areas. I want it to be all the same size. So anywhere where it's getting a little too skinny, I'm going to avoid. And then I'm going to work on those areas where it feels a little lumpy to help spread it out. All right, so I want a really nice long piece of clay. And then I can make either ice cream or I can even do my lollipop design. So all I'm going to do, it's nice and easy, is I'm just going to slowly start to spin. And as you can see, my clay is coming together to make a nice little lollipop. Now, if you do decide to go the lollipop route, you are going to have to make two of them because you are going to have some extra clay. With the ice cream design, same kind of idea, but you usually want to start with a circle and then slowly have it wrap around kind of like a snake so that it slowly gets closer and closer together. Now the thing that I like about this clay is it's not as messy and it's pretty easy to work with. However, the one problem is if you do make a mistake and you go to peel it off, sometimes it doesn't come apart that easily. All right, so when I was building my design, let me grab it. And I was making my little cupcake here. I made things individually. So I did the bow first. All right, and I set it to the side. And then I made the bottom piece and I set it to the side. And once I had all my little pieces together, then I slowly started to assemble it. That way, if you mess up, it makes it easier to kind of fix, because once it's all together, sometimes it gets a little sticky and it will just kind of pull the whole thing apart, unfortunately. So with this, I took a couple different pieces of clay. I set aside like 2 balls, you know, for the cupcake part, and then I left a little bit of extra for the accessories. So what you can do is when you do make your little pieces, so maybe I'm going to start off with a little bowl for my ice cream. I'm just kind of making it wider and wider. And then maybe I'm going to roll out the ice cream part next. You can also add in some texture. So let's say, so for example, when I was creating the texture on the side of the boat, I was using my tools to kind of push in and indent to get those nice little textures. Now the nice thing about this clay is you can also cut it. So if I feel like this is too long, guess what? You can cut it off really nice and easy without making a mess with a pair of scissors. All right, this isn't great. It's all kind of lumpy and easy. Don't do this, all right? It's a little too lumpy, but for the sake of time, we got to move on. All right, so I'm going to slowly put my ice cream and have it wrap around. Slowly come together, kind of like that. Great. Now maybe I'm going to take, like I said, take my tool. Ooh, I probably should have did this before I attached the 2 pieces. Again, make sure it's all set and ready to go, because once they're together, it's kind of hard, I'll use this tool, to take back apart. And it's kind of squishing my bowl around too. So again, that's why it's really important to build your pieces individually and then put them together. All right, then from there, you know, I can add in, you know, like maybe I'm going to make a cute little cherry. All right, so I'm going to roll it up in a little ball. I'm going to indent it a little bit. Kind of looks like a little heart. Oh, that's kind of cute. You could do some sprinkles, some hot fudge. Maybe I want to put some drizzle on this cupcake. Again, you should be looking at your design to help you with your planning, because we only have 1 day to build this. Okay, so maybe I'm going to put some drizzle on there. Ooh, some yummy chocolate sauce. All right. Okay, and then when you are done, everything is going to go on the plate for it to dry. All right, next class, we will start to paint and get ready to give these little guys some color once they're dry. All right, I hope you guys have fun, and I can't wait to see what you guys create. See ya!